Hi, everyone, and welcome to Strategic Wealth Strategies with our host, Alan Porter. Alan, how are you, man? And
Doing great today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Topics every week just blow me away. And you said in a couple weeks, it's going to be something that only the wealthy know, that you know as a wealth planner. You just got to check out Alan Porter. Make sure you email him. Phone number's right on the screen. Let's go to our topic today.
Well, first, let's say a prayer for people in Florida because they're gonna have a big mess coming up here next couple of days. I know I've gone through it several times.
Oh my gosh. Yes, what's happened to people in Puerto Rico. Let's also think about them and
Yeah.
power outage for so long. They don't even have power. It's just we have to be happy with what we have that God has given us and thank to have these great blessings. But we'll definitely say that prayer.
Well, Neil, thanks for having me on. And today I've got some questions for people. I don't care whether you're wealthy, whether you're middle class, or whatever, but you need to think about these questions. Business owners, you need to have these questions. Think about these questions, and you need to know the answer to these questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint here. So give me a chance here.
All right, here
All
we
right.
go.
Can you see that okay?
Yes.
All right. People need to ask these questions and they need to know the answers because it will cost them not only tens of thousands, possibly 100,000, if not millions of dollars, undue taxes, fees, and lost opportunity costs. So what I want to show people, what keeps you up at night? What's your most significant expense? And a lot of people think, oh my God, I don't know what the market's going to do. Just like it's going on today. My God, what have we lost? 20, 25%? I
Oh,
don't know what the market did today. But people, especially in retirement, they think about that all the time because that's their retirement income. What about future taxes? What about debt? If I can save you 20 to 50%, is that a conversation you'd like to have? What if I can show you a possible way to reduce or eliminate debt and taxes? Would you like to hear about that? And we did a podcast here a couple of days ago on just doing that particular reducing debt. And it makes a huge difference in people's lives. But these are questions that people need to know the answers to and ask themselves. Do you know what the effective interest rate is? Well, Neil, I found out, and I didn't know what the effective interest rate was until I become educated on it. 99% of people do not know what the effective interest rate is, and it's costing them thousands of dollars to pay financial institutions and not to pay compound interest to themselves and not to financial institutions. Now, understand, Einstein said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it will benefit from it, and those who don't will pay it. Are you paying it? Well, believe me, 99% of Americans are paying it because they don't understand the definition of effective interest rate and what it means to the financial future. Next would come up. What is your state plan? The default plan, the government's plan, where you pay the most in taxes? I can show you how to set up your estate plan and possibly use 1% of your income to protect 100% of your assets. These are my team's financial strategies, concepts, and products. And I'm going to give you a couple examples. I don't know whether you remember Joe Robbie. He owned Joe Robbie Stadium and the Miami Dolphins several years ago. Well, he was worth over $400 million at one time, but he didn't have a plan set up. He had no trust, no wills. And his family got next to nothing because they had to sell the team and the stadium just to pay the taxes on his estate. Another one I know everybody's probably familiar with, the performer Prince. He died a couple of years ago, and his beneficiaries are going to get less than probably 85% of that estate because he did not have the proper trust or will set up, and the government is going, because it's going through probate, and probate, I have a definition for that. Probate is a lawsuit that's initiated by you that you're going to pay for and you're going to lose because it's been over 2 years and that estate still is in probate. And understand this. This is really, really gets me. Attorneys are going to get 6 to 12% of that estate because of their litigation. That in itself is criminal to me. Next question. And this is very big for me. Does your current plan reflect the values of your current advisor or yours? Now, understand, I know people that they've been with their advisors for years and years and years. That could be their best friend or whatever. But is he only showing you a stock portfolio where he gets paid a fee or not? Is he a fiduciary? Now, I'm a certified financial fiduciary. So I'm going to ask people this question. If he's only showing you a stock portfolio where he gets paid a fee, whether you make money or not, is he looking out for your best interest or the best interest for him and his company? And people need to think about this, but they don't, because everybody's been brainwashed for Wall Street. 60-40, 60% stock, 40% bonds. See your financial advisor. He's a fiduciary. He'll find out the best possible scenario for you. It's not true. Next question. Big one here. Do you have enough confidence in your advisor not to get a second opinion? And I have two answers for this. Yes, I have enough confidence, but I would like a second opinion. And no, I don't have enough confidence. I need a second opinion. Look, Neil, I'm not here to replace anybody's financial advisor. I have a team of people that I work with, and I want to collaborate with a person's financial advisors to give the client the best possible scenario. But one thing that I found when I work with affluent clients, they all tell me, well, my CPA, my financial advisor, or my attorney give me all my tax and investment advice. And I say, well, that's fine, but understand this. You may have the best advisors in the world, but it's what they don't know that's going to end up costing you hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in undue fees, taxes, and lost opportunity costs. And they think about it, well, yeah, you're kind of right. I said, I mean, there's over hundreds of thousands of pages in the tax code alone, and your CPA can't know all that. That's why I have a team of people that I work with, top CPAs, tax-specific attorneys, and other specialists in our fields that I collaborate with to give the client the best possible financial scenario and saving the most in taxes, and give him the opportunity for to do other things with their money that if only would have gone to taxes. This is a big one. What is your strategy for exiting your business? Do you have a plan? If you don't, if you do, you need to work on it each year. If you don't, you need to start one. You have to have a plan for everything you do in life. Let me ask this question. When you sell your business, would you like a tax deduction instead of paying capital gains tax? Well, everybody says, well, yeah, definitely would do that. How do we do that? Well, that's what I do with my practice. I have a team of people that we show people how to do that. Get a tax deduction instead of paying capital gains tax for your business. What have you, this is huge, and people don't think about this. What have you done to protect yourself from divorces, bankruptcy, or business reversals of your children? Now, you worked long and hard for your estate, okay? Do you want your estate to go to your family and not someone else's? What if your daughter gets married and the marriage only lasts a year? Are you willing to give half of what you were going to give her to her estranged husband when you pass away because she made a bad choice? Now, understand, the list goes on and on with these questions like this, due to bad business reversals of your children, bankruptcy, and divorces. People need to think about it. Did you know that you can insure your retirement? You insure your car, you insure your home. Why not your retirement? And I got a misspelling there, but I can show you how to insure your retirement and guarantee that you will never run out of money, even if you run out of assets. And did you know the number one fear in retirement is running out of money before you run out of life? I show people how to have guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. I don't care if you live to 120. You may be out of assets at age 85, but by contract, you'll be, and that's guaranteed money that you'll be paid for the rest of your life. And it could be for your spouse's life also. There's many different ways to set these products up, but people need to be educated on these. And like I told you before, Neil, these are things that need to be taught in high school, but they're not. And I know people that have PhD degrees in economics, and they don't know what I'm talking about either. It's something that's very simple, but people need to be educated on this stuff. Did did you know, this is a big one. Did you know that you can get a tax deduction today for a charitable gift that will not go to charity until after you die? Now, I've done many plans with this particular scenario right here. And like I said, I've got a team of specialists that I work with. No one can know everything. And that's why I have a team of people that I collaborate with to make these things possible for people. What have you done to create tax-free income in retirement? Now, taxes, you know, I asked people, I said, what do you think taxes are going to do? Go up or down? And some of them say down. Well, I said, I've got a harsh reality for you. We got a $31 trillion deficit, over $239 trillion of unfunded liabilities, and Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security is going to take up over 90% of that. And Medicare is 6 times larger than Social Security. And Social Security is scheduled to run out of money in 2035. Now, Social Security being fixed, but the rest of them are going to be huge problems. And you know, right now we're in the lowest tax bracket we've been in 70 years.
Wow.
And Neil, understand this. Right now we all have a progressive tax system. Our lowest tax rate is, I believe, 10%. And the majority of the people, I think, are 40% of the majority, are like in the 12% minimum tax bracket. If nothing is done with taxes whatsoever, taxes in January 1st, 2026 are going to go back to what they were in 2017 with Obama. That means the people in the 12% minimum tax bracket are going to over 25%. Now that's over 100% increase.
Wow.
The rest of the tax brackets are going to go up also. But you're not going to find a financial planner or a CPA to tell you about this, because I don't think they know, because they haven't educated themselves on this. But this is huge.
Totally.
Think about this. Over 100% increase in the federal taxes you pay. And with what's going on right now, do you realize we have to spend, I believe it's $4,700 or $4,800 a year more just to live than we did 20 months ago when
Wow.
Biden took office? And it's getting worse. This is very near and dear to my heart. Are you protecting yourself from the extreme, extraordinary expenses of long-term care? I have people tell me that they're not going to need long-term care. But Neil, do you realize that 70% of all Americans are going to need long-term care at some point in their life? 40% of Americans between the age of 18 and 64 are on long-term care right now. And this is an age lab study by Dr. Pecorsi at MIT University. If you're married at age 65, there is a 75% chance of you or your spouse contracting Alzheimer's, dementia, or Parkinson's. Now understand this. I had to go home to Nebraska, where I'm originally from, this spring, and my brother's 5 years older than me. I had to put him in a nursing home. That's not a fun scenario for anybody. I know, because I've lived it. But the thing is, he's got dementia. And I got 3 of my friends that are 75 years old. One of them had Alzheimer's. He died last summer. But the other 2 are sitting in nursing homes. They don't remember their names. They don't know their families. And all they're doing is sucking their families dry of their estate. And if you're a spouse of somebody that's in long-term care, and you may have had $1 million or more in a retirement plan,
right?
There's a thing called Medicaid spend down. The spouse that's caring for the intern will end up with 1 car, 1 house, and approximately $137,000. I don't care how much money you got, that's what happens. And people need to prepare themselves for this. I can show them how to do this and do it with tax-free money.
Wow.
Because long-term care, Neil, right now costs between $50,000 to $200,000 a year.
Wow.
And it's going up by 6% every year.
That's crazy. And it's so important to find someone like yourself. That's for sure.
Well, this is my last slide. And I like this, because when I tell people this, they're going, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Finally, what if I could show you how you can leverage our tax system, turn forever taxable money into never taxable money, give you an option to pay for long-term care with tax-free money, provide you tax-free income in retirement and before, protects you from the taxation of Social Security and the means testing Medicare Part B. Now, Neil, that alone is in thousands of dollars per year in retirement when you don't need that expense.
Mhm.
Protect you from liens, lawsuits, and judgments. Not only that, protects you from stock market losses and giving you the opportunity to take advantage of a down market while giving you almost total liquidity to your money. And become your own bank and pay yourself compound interest and not the financial institutions. Now, I want to ask everybody out there, would you like to hear about this? I can show you how this is done.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I specialize in. Neil, that's this is a short presentation of questions that people need to ask themselves. They need to know the answers to because it affects their financial future. It'll affect their family's financial future. It'll affect your mental health.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know the answer to these questions, you're under stress all the time. And one of the things that I think it was a Harvard study. One of the things I promote is guaranteed income in retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed income that you can't outlive. And if you have guaranteed income, you have a less stressful life and a much healthier life. And it's been proven in studies because you don't have to worry about the ups and downs of the stock market. Think about somebody that retired last year and going and getting their money from the stock portfolio.
Right.
Now, there's a thing called sequential returns risk that most financial planners never tell their clients because I've never had any of my clients have their financial planners tell them about it because I ask them. But if you have a loss in the first 3 years in a stock market where you're taking your money in for retirement as compared to the last 3 years of a 10-year period, if you have it in the first 3 years, you'll probably run out of money in the 7th or 8th year. And the reason being is because you've got a down market. You've lost money in here. You're taking income from a depleting asset and not putting anything else in there to make it recover.
Right.
People need to know these things, but they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very, very passionate about education of people and showing them different financial strategies. Think outside the box.
Totally. You have to think outside the box, and that's what you do, bringing in the whole thing about whole life and other types of life insurance plans with your other financial strategies, fitting a game plan for them to be debt free for life. You take all the different things as a financial planner, see how important those life products are for certain points, see all those products that are involved in tax saving in tax money, and at the end of the day, have a retirement that you don't have tax free for life and have it guaranteed. That is what you do.
Well, Neil, it's not about whole life insurance, it's about index universal life insurance. It's about fixed indexed annuities and financial strategies. Some of the questions I ask people, do you want tax-free money in retirement or taxable? Did you know that capital gains taxes are voluntary? That estate taxes are voluntary. And if you voluntarily opt out of these taxes, the government will give you a tax deduction. Were you aware of that?
No, I'm not. So,
well, if you set this trust up correctly, you'll have complete control of these assets. You'll never be taxed on the gains again. You can take as much income out as you want. You will be taxed on that. But what happens when you will this to your beneficiaries, they have total control of these assets into perpetuity, and you'll never have to disinherit your beneficiaries.
hmm.
I told this to a group of people up at Harvard when I spoke. They said, they come up to me after and said, Alan, what is this? I said, it's all a plan of timing, sequencing, and combining of different financial products and collaborating my strategies to make this happen. Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know that you could have a tax-free retirement and have the government pay for it through tax deductions?
They didn't know that, and that's why people need to know it. Yeah.
More financial strategies.
And make
Neil, understand this. The tax codes are only a limit on a benefit. Okay. And I have a team of specialists that know the tax codes, tax specific attorneys, top CPAs, and other specialists in the field. And that's what we do. Everything we do is black letter law, but people need to think outside the box, do a paradigm shift in their thinking from conventional financial planning. And that's all I want to do is protect people. My number one goal, both professionally and personally, is protection of your assets and protection of your family.
Mm.
Because of what's happened to my family, I don't want that to ever happen to anybody, but be prepared because nobody knows what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly. And the best place people can go is email you at strategicwealth0@gmail.com or call you at 910-551-1046, correct?
That's correct, Neil.
And Alan, it's great information. I think always you're educating me to understand it's not just your life products, any type of financial investment products, you're able to see specifically what's the best way so that people can have guaranteed income for life and tax-free guaranteed
Yeah,
income.
well, I'm not against stocks and bonds. I want everybody to have a diversified portfolio, but they need to think outside the box because in retirement, Neil, it's not about return of investment. It's about distribution of assets. And that's a whole different ballgame in the accumulation phase than this or distribution phase.
All right. We appreciate it, Alan. Another great podcast of strategic wealth strategies, guys. Take care.